Okay, so let us continue for your maths. Previously we already learned about the terms, alright, the number of terms. Okay, Tn, how to find the first term, how to find the common difference. Alright, so once you are familiar with the first part, okay, so now we are going to go into your sum of terms. Alright, so you know, right, basically sum is total, meaning you add up. Okay, so a few important formulas here. All right, so we need to understand this. If we say sum of first n terms, meaning the total of the first three terms. Let's say, for example, the sum of first five terms, meaning you're going to add up term 1 until term 5, add up everything. Okay, so it will become S5 lah. All right, so it will be like this. S5 meaning you add term 1, you add until term 5. Okay, if we say S9, meaning it's from the first term, and then you add until your ninth term. Okay, you're going to add up everything. Right, so basically this is the formula that I'm going to use for your calculation. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we solve questions involving sum of terms. Alright, so let's look at the first one. Alright, given the sequence. Okay, so remember, if they already give you the arithmetic progression, alright, it is a good habit to always write out the first term and also the common difference first. So this is 400 minus 200, so common difference is also 200. Alright, so find the sum of the progression up to the 9 first term. So this meaning is S9. Alright, so we are going to use this formula to calculate, okay, the sum of the first 9 terms. Alright, so the total. So S9, 9 over 2, okay, 2a, the first term, plus, okay, 9 minus 1 is 8. And then your common difference is 200. Okay, so we are just going to calculate for this. Alright, 400, this one will be 2000. Okay, this one, cut 1000. This is 9000. Okay, so basically what does it mean is that if you add up the first 9 terms, alright, the total will be 9000. So I believe you all can do me the honors. Okay, you just write out lah. You can write out term 1 until term 9. So you're going to add 200, 200, 200 lah. And then if you add up the total 9 terms, you should get 9000. Okay, so that is the meaning of your sum. Okay, total up. Alright, so let's look at the second type of question. Okay, now remember in the earlier on when we learned about the number of terms, right? I did mention if they ask you to find, okay, the n term, and then they give you the last term, right? So if they ask you to find the number of terms and then the last term is given, straight away we are going to use this. Tn is equals to 89. Okay, so the first step is still the same. Okay, so basically this question is asking you to find the sum of the total terms in this sequence. But I do not know how many terms I have. So I need to find out how many terms I have first. So to find out the number of terms in this sequence, we are going to use this relationship. Okay, Tn equals to last term, which is 89. Alright, so we are just going to calculate like previously. So here, your A is 5, your D is 7. 12 minus 5 is 7. So 5 plus n minus 1, 7 is equals to 89. So we are going to calculate for this. Okay, so this one is 84 n minus 1. Okay, 84 divided by 7 is 12. Okay, so n is equals to 13. Alright, so in other words, now I know in this sequence or this progression, in total I have 13 terms. So I want to find the sum of these 13 terms. So S13. Okay, so S13, you can either use this formula here, or if last term is given, normally we will use this one. If last term is given. Okay, so we can straight away use this to calculate. So 13 over 2. right? First term is 5 plus your last term is 89, right? So 13 over 2, this one is 94. So okay, this one I think we just press calculator, alright? So 13 over 2, 47. So 13 times 47 is 611. Okay, so the sum of the 13 terms here is equals to 611. Okay, alright, so you must understand the meaning of sum. Okay, basically it just add up. Okay, so first two questions are very straightforward questions. Okay, now question C. Okay, this one will be a little bit confusing for some people. Alright, so this is what you're going to do. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a relationship, okay, between the term number and the sum. Alright, so in other words, if let's say I want to find what you call term 3, the third term, how can I find using the formula for sum is that sum of the first 3 terms minus the sum of the 2 first term. Okay, meaning it's like this. Alright, what we are going to do is I'm going to write out T1 plus T2 plus T3. Okay, meaning if I want to know the value for my third term, what we can do is the total of these 3, alright, minus off the total of these 2. Okay, so this whole thing minus off these 2, left with this one, right? So that is the meaning of this formula here. Okay, so this is the relationship between number of terms and the sum of terms. Alright, okay, now let's look at question C right here. Okay, given a sequence, alright, 3, 7, 11, find the sum of all the terms from 8 to 15. Now, the first common mistakes that students will always do is like this. They see the sentence, sum of all terms from 8 to 15. Naturally, what we are going to do is like this. Alright, because they want to know the total between 8th term until 15th term, right? So naturally, what all of us will do is we will straight away take S15 and then minus S8. Okay, this is wrong. Alright, so I'm going to show you why this one is wrong. Okay, so I have taken the liberty to write out all 15 terms first. Okay, so 15 terms. Alright, so what I want to know is from term 8 until 15, right? So in other words, if I want to know the total sum here, meaning that I need to take the whole thing minus off the first 7, then only I can get the yellow part. Alright, so in other words, if I take the total sum here, which is S15, right? Okay, and then I'm going to minus off this part here, the sum of the first 7 terms. Okay, so you can imagine this whole thing minus off the front part here. Let me see, I take the pencil now. So if I minus off the first 7 terms here, so I'm left with the terms from term number 8 until term 15, right? Okay, that is why this one, okay, your relationship should be S15 minus S7. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this part again. Alright, so you need to understand, okay, why is not minus S8. Okay, now I want from 8 to 15, meaning this part here, the yellow part here. So if I want to know the total of the yellow part here, I take the overall, I minus off the front 7. Okay, so I'm left with this part, right? So this is the total for the highlighted part here, which is term 8 until term 15. Okay, alright. So find the sum of all terms from the 8th term until 15th term. So basically your formula is this one, S15 minus S7. Okay, so we write out the first term, which is 3, alright, and then your common difference here is 4, right? Okay, and then we are going to use this formula to calculate. So since we say S15 minus S17, S17 pula, S7, alright. Okay, oh, let me just rewrite this. Okay, so S15 minus S7, okay, equals to, we are going to substitute this formula in. Alright, so first one is S15. So 15 over 2, okay, 2a plus 14, 4. Okay, and then minus S7. So 7 over 2, 2, 3 plus 6d. Okay, so we are going to calculate for this one. Alright, so the total sum here will be 6 plus 56, so is it this 62 here? Okay, minus plus 24, here is 30, right? So 15 times 31. So this is 465. Okay, minus 15. 7 is 105. Okay, so my sum here will be 360. Okay, so meaning that the sum from 8th term until 15th term is 360. Right? So basically the concept is actually like this lah. You take the overall, you minus the one that you don't want. Okay, then you'll get the one that you want. Okay, something like that. Alright, so that will be your answer. Okay, well, unless of course I calculate wrong lah. Alright, so hopefully not. So 6 plus 56, 62. Correct, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, next one. Okay, so this one normally will be a little bit confusing lah when you first started learning. Alright, but as you go on, as you do more, then you slowly understand. Okay, okay, so let's look at this one. Alright, D. Alright, given, okay, they love to do this. Alright, 2n squared minus 3n. Find the first term and the common difference. Okay, first thing, very important thing that you need to know. Alright, first term, meaning your T1 will always equals to S1. This is important. Alright, because if we say sum of first term, meaning I only got one term, right? Since I only got one, so technically we can say that the first term is also equals to the sum of first term lah. Sounds stupid, right? But yeah, correct. Okay, because you only have one term here. Okay, so T1 will always equal to your S1, meaning my first term is, I substitute the value here. Alright, so 2 minus 3, this one is negative 1, meaning my first term is negative 1. Okay, so this is my A lah, basically. Alright, now remember, if you want to calculate the common difference, we need your second term, right? So T2. So how do we calculate T2? Okay, basically we use this formula here. T2 meaning S2 minus S1, right? So S2 minus S1. Okay, so we substitute the value here, S2. So 2 minus 3, 2. Okay, minus. Alright, you need to minus S1, right? So basically you already know your S1 is negative 1 lah. Okay, technically. Alright, so minus negative 1. If you want to resubstitute again, also can, just make sure you put the bracket. Okay, so, or if I were to substitute the value and let you see lah, how I write. Alright, normally I will put this one, S2, big bracket, then S1, meaning 2 then like this. Okay, meaning you calculate the one in the bracket first, then only you minus off. Alright, if not, if you straight away punch your calculator, right, without the bracket, okay, you might get a different value. Okay, so meaning here, 4, 8, 6, this is, wait a minute, 4, 8 minus this one is 2. Okay, and then minus, alright, this one. Okay, this one is 2 minus 3 is negative 1, right? So this one is minus negative 1. Okay, so 2, blah, 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 this one will become 3. Alright, so without the bracket, there's a chance that you might actually calculate it wrong lah. Okay, because 2 and then you minus what they call 2, 0 and then minus 3, then it will become minus 3 here. Alright, okay, but never mind. Now you know that your second term is 3, right? So your common difference is t2 minus t1. So 3 minus first term. So your common difference is 4. Okay, so to be safe, you just put the bracket lah. Alright, because if not, let me try and calculate and see what happens. If this one, 2, and then without the bracket, minus, this is 2, and then minus 3, right? Okay, so this one will become 2 minus 2, 0, 0. If you punch your calculator, 2 minus 2 minus 3, it will become negative 3. So it will be a different value. Okay, so that is what I meant lah. Alright, by putting the bracket here. Okay, you calculate the one in the big bracket first. Okay, then only you minus. If not, there's a chance that your sign here will be wrong. Okay, so that is for this type of question. Alright, if they give you the SN and then find the first term and the common difference. Okay, remember the important relationship here is this one. T1 will always equals to S1. Alright, your first term will always equals to your S1. So you just substitute 1 here. Okay, alright, next. Alright, given Sn, find the 8th term. Okay, so this one is very straightforward. Find the 8th term, right? T8. So we use this formula here. Okay, so T8 equals to S8 minus S7. Alright, so we are just going to substitute the value. Okay, alright, so equals, okay, so S8, so 8 square plus 8, okay, minus 7 squared plus 7. Alright, so 8 squared plus 8, 64, this one is 72, minus 49 plus 7 is 56, right? Okay, so this one is 16. Okay, so your 8th term is 16. Okay, so that is how you calculate. Alright, if they give you the what they call the equation here, and then they ask you to find the 8th term or the 7th term, we just straight away use the relationship to calculate. Alright, okay, so that is the part for your sum of terms. Okay, so I have shown you 5 different types of questions regarding sum of terms. Alright, so try out the exercises here. Okay, more or less it's going to be almost the same. Of course, there are slightly higher level or more difficult questions, but make sure you know how to do the basic questions first. Okay, so that is it for today. Okay, sum of your n terms, and then with this, we finish your arithmetic progression, meaning your AP. So after this, you're going to go into your geometric progression, all right, which is all about multiplication. Okay, so that is it for today. Bye.